So, just last November, it was the PDP calling for the arrest of the APC presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on allegations that he is a drug dealer. Well, today, it's the turn of the APC, invoking the so-called nuclear option. In an explosive move, it's calling for the immediate apprehension of the presidential candidate of the PDP, Abubakar, based on what it says is evidence against him of money laundering, misappropriation of funds, breach of the code of conduct, and criminal breach of trust when he was Nigeria's vice president. Speaking at a news conference on Monday, hardliners from the APC's Presidential Campaign Council gave a 72-hour ultimatum to the EFCC, the ICPC, and the Code of Conduct Bureau to arrest Mr. Abubakar.
Both ocular and it is the Atikugate that has dropped in the last fortnight and has been running. Somebody somewhere, just like all of you, we all woke up and started seeing the confessions, visual, literary, and all audio. Every channel of communication has been employed by this whistleblower. And weighty allegations have been made.
Atiku Abubakar, who happens to be the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, during his tenure as Vice President of Nigeria between 1999 and 2007, colluded with his then boss, President Olusegun Obasanjo, to fleece the country and steal public funds using what he termed the Special Purpose Vehicle, SPVs. Those SPVs were companies Atiku admittedly registered upon assumption of office as Vice President with the approval of President Olusegun Obasanjo using trusted allies. Let us play to you the voice recording of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
Give me 3 people you trust. Yes, sir. And I will prepare 3 companies.
From that audio tape alone, it is clear that Atiku Abubakar is a criminal. A criminal that should not only be arrested, he should also be jailed.
So, how absolutely serious is this move by the APC, which appears to be creating another major point of tension in this campaign between two very feisty political opponents and their supporters? Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the political rights activist, self-styled fighter against human wrongs, Mahdi Shehu, who is a supporter of Atiku Abubakar. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Charles,
for coming in. I mean, you heard some of that there, and you had a smile on your face. I wonder what your reaction is to those allegations against Atiku Abubakar by the APC.
Well, I think the take-off point is just look at the personalities in the press conference. Number one is Fani Coyote. I remember what Obasanjo said, that whenever you hear Fani Coyote abusing and raising his voice, he said, give him some food, he is hungry. At another time, he said, anytime Gani Coyote is empty in the pocket, he needs some refill to calm him down. Another person like myself will say, in the way and manner Gani Coyote spoke yesterday, it suggests that he either need to go back to rehab immediately, which he is very used to, or he needs some sedatives and tranquilizers to calm him down. But I think he is not speaking as a normal person, somebody who has a subsisting criminal case at the EFCC right now is calling somebody a criminal. That person, he is not before any court of law. That's number one. Number two, you take Bayo Ananoga, the spokesperson. It's sad that years after there is the news is not there, PM is not there. Rather than wasting his time here calling people names, he should go and settle the wages. Outstanding wages. For the last 7 years, he has not paid his staff. Some of them have died. Some have had some angina pectoris and they have some paralysis. He has that burden on him to take off before he attacks another party. I am disappointed in Barrister Kemo, the senior advocate. when he was saying arrest, charge, take to jail, I feel so disappointed. As a lawyer, he should know that we have a justice system. We have a legal system. No matter how aggrieved he is, there is a process. If he is so aggrieved, as a lawyer, he should go and read Atiku's legal history, a book of 348 pages. Atiku respects the law. He believes in courts. He went to court 9 times against Obasanjo and he won 9 times. If he feels Atiku has gone against any of the legal provisions in Nigeria, all he requires as a lawyer is, if he is not patient enough for the prosecutory agencies to charge Atiku to court, he can exercise his right under the current AGJIA, Administration of Criminal Justice System in Nigeria, especially 2015 as admitted. It gives him ample opportunity to go and exercise a right to private prosecution. If he has not yet read that AGJIA, he is very conversant with the Chief Gani Fawahimi versus Akilu Togun and 2 others, where the Supreme Court gave Fawahimi the right to private prosecution. But,
I don't think that's
it is cheap for a lawyer to say, go and arrest. Make your papers available. Assemble them. Present them as your evidences and then set up for prosecution. Otherwise, you come to arise 1 billion times, you go to any other media 1 billion times. Security agencies are not stupid. They have a process, they have a procedure.
Yes, well, the APC is accusing Atiku Abubakar of money laundering, misappropriation of funds, breach of the Code of Conduct Act, conspiracy and criminal breach of trust. These are pretty serious, but at this stage, it is your sense that they're just allegations.
He who asserts must prove.
Yeah, of course.
They are making empty assertions. We are saying that money laundering, go to court. Breach of trust,
well, that's why
go to court.
That's why they're giving an ultimatum.
Which ultimatum?
They're saying,
when you are saying,
if you don't arrest him in 72 hours, we will take action.
Within 3 days.
And presumably they've presented the evidence to the authorities.
Days, evidences could be presented. But it is after they are evaluated within the criminal justice system that you can apportion a blame or otherwise. But when you come on the TV screen and begin to say, arrest Mr. A, arrest Mr. B for this, you are not helping matters, you are only confusing people. What we are saying is that come in on a balanced scale. Go to court. Indeed, the legal team of our principal are eager to be in court.
Yeah, but you're not addressing the specific allegations.
What are the allegations?
Him. Well, let me just remind you. The APC has presented what it says is audio evidence, which they played part of it at a press conference, purportedly from a former aide of Atiku, Michael Achimugu, suggesting that Atiku set up companies to siphon money from the government. And apparently Mr. Abubakar was Nigeria's vice president at the time. What's your reaction to that? Does it come across as rather dramatic, or are you concerned that if this contains elements of truth, your candidate is essentially ruined?
They should go to court and establish the veracity or otherwise of the claim. It is an audio. I'm happy that you said part of it was played, presumably said by him. There is no presumption in law. There is either a full establishment of guilt or a discharge and acquittal. They should go to court. This does not establish crime. The fact that you played a video or an audio does not in any way establish a crime. It only set a stage of a drama.
Well, let's approach this systematically.
Yes.
Did the whistleblower, Michael Achimugu, actually work as an aide to Atiku?
He did.
In what capacity?
In the capacity of an assistant, in several other assistants' presence. So many other assistants.
Okay, because it's coming across as confusing, because when I heard the spokesman of the Atiku campaign earlier, I think it was last night, speaking about this, he said that Mr. Achimugu did not actually work with, that he wanted people to bring proof of a letter of appointment, that this guy was part of a support group, that he never actually worked with Atiku. But you're saying that Mr. Achimugu actually worked with Mr. Atiku.
What do you mean by work? If somebody says he has worked for you, even a one-day errand, somebody can make an
but you said he
claim.
worked as an assistant.
Well, see, there are 1,000 people that are working with Atiku in different forms, in different capacities, at different moments. If he sends you for an errand one day, if you are looking for somewhere to hang on, you said you are his staff, his assistants. What we are saying is this guy Achimugu should have the temerity, should have the courage, should have the guts, should have the audacity to dust whatever evidence he has. Arise cannot help him. No any other platform can help him but in a court of law.
Yeah, but we could hear Atiku's voice clearly on that tape.
Well, you can create voices. There is what is called admissibility of electronically generated evidences in court. Until that voice is subjected to that admissibility, it remains a hearsay and a speculation.
So at this stage, your candidate, the PDP, are happy for a formal investigation to take place?
We are eager for that to happen.
Right, because if the APC has substantial evidence
to
raise reasonable questions about Mr. Atiku Abubakar, obviously that will be assessed by the police or the security agencies. But in those circumstances, you agree that he should be investigated?
We are waiting for the investigation to commence, like yesterday, not even today.
Right. And if an investigation is initiated, obviously the whistleblower, this Michael Achimugu, in your assessment, should be one of the first to be placed on the rack to assess the veracity of his claim.
He should be a principal prosecuting witness. If he is willing to do that, he should appear in court as a prosecuting witness. Because there is no way you can prosecute him without the person who is making the assertions. Yeah.
The good thing for Atiku's supporters like yourself is that at this late stage, you need substantial and incontrovertible evidence to disqualify him, and that evidence must be presented not to INEC but to the Attorney General and to a court of law, which has to make that determination.
Exactly.
So he's safe for now.
Well, he has always been safe. If somebody can go through a court process 9 times and was not found guilty, additional 9 times he will never be found guilty. This I guarantee you.
But you know, there's something called optics.
Yes.
And there's something called impression.
That's right.
Impressions, the way people react. This is an election season. The election is just weeks away. This is damaging to your candidate.
A criminal who is criminally minded, who is internally a criminal, always see other people from what flows from his heart. That's the problem with a human being. If somebody is criminally minded, criminally inclined, and criminally rooted, he always see other people as criminals. He doesn't see them in other light. That is the situation now. You are dealing with Fani Coyote, you are dealing with Kayamo, you are dealing with Ananuga, you are dealing with Mohammed Malagi. Come on, excuse me, give me some chance. They should go and wash over what they have there before they start calling names, please.
But, I mean, let's face it, and I'm not obviously taking any sides, so we're just looking at this from the perspective of the public. It's not only raining on Mr. Atiku's parade, it's absolutely drenching it. I mean, in addition to the considerable headache he has from the G5 governors and the perception, again from the public's perspective, that he can't unite his PDP party, he's now got this monster of an allegation from the APC. How do you think all this resonates with the public, and how might it affect Mr. Abubakar's chances at the elections?
You see, when you say perception, I like the word. It's an impression.
Yeah, but the impression is what makes people vote one way or another.
It doesn't have anything definitive. It is speculative.
Yeah, but you're on the defensive.
What changes your mind, or what makes you to change your mind, might be exactly the same reason why somebody will key in into somebody. Like somebody will have the perception that, okay, Atiku Abubakar is being attacked now because his popularity is getting higher.
Well, that's the way his supporters
that's other
will
people,
feel.
That's
but
other
for
people.
undecided
That's other
voters,
people say.
For undecided voters, it might sway them against it.
Until the votes are counted, until the election results are announced, we still feel that APC are displaying their last chance of desperation. They are feeling insecure. They are feeling uncomfortable. They are getting unpopular, especially in certain part of the country, such that they are looking for somebody to die along with. Yeah, they will die alone.
Right, but that's what you would say. I mean, that's what you'd be expected to say.
Of course, yes.
The point is that for a lot of other people who are neither APC nor PDP nor in any political
How
party.
many of them?
No, I'm just saying that there's
Yeah.
quite a large percentage
Yes.
of Nigerians who are undecided and who haven't taken any sides. I mean, potentially speaking, they'd be like, because this is, even though your argument is plausible in the sense that he has not been convicted of any
Not at all.
but the perception has been there all along because his own boss accused him of corruption. So the perception has been there all along that there is something, some I don't want to say inclination, but something hanging over Atiku that might not have been proved in court, but leaves a rather dirty smell.
Let us see how sharp the perception you are talking about could be. Obasanjo is the person whom you are referring to just now, that he made allegations about Atiku. Somebody like me will say, let me evaluate the person who is speaking. And the best way to evaluate Obasanjo is to become a prisoner of history. I want to become a prisoner of history. Right before you here, his daughter wrote him an 11-page letter, Iyabo. I don't want to go into the content of the letter, but in the letter it is so damaging that it couldn't have come from a biological daughter. Not long after that, his son came in public Benga and established a relationship, alleged relationship, between Obasanjo, his father, and his own daughter-in-law, the wife of Benga. Not long after that, you will recall that Sunday Awoni, when he delivered an Arewa House lecture, painted Obasanjo in the most uncomplimentary, unfriendly color, also being his friend. His wife, Oluromi, wrote a book, 142 pages, titled Bitter and Sweet. In that book, she's the only person who can tell Obasanjo what he is. It was the most uncomplimentary book I ever read in my life.
Yeah, but there's a big difference here.
No. What I'm saying is, if somebody is already indicted from his house by his biological son, biological daughter, by his wives, by his friends, that person should seek the face of God, remain in kneeling position, cry all his life, and stop talking about anybody in public, because he is preeminently disqualified.
There's a big difference here.
There is no difference.
President Obasanjo is not running for office.
Morality is morality. Decency is decency.
Your candidate is running for office, so he's the one on the rack.
We'll see. What we are saying, you can never sweep away this part of Obasanjo's life. You can never sweep it away. And impression matters a lot. Many people create their own impression from this needle eyes.
Right. Are you concerned that this campaign is getting more ill-tempered as the election draws near and could lead to something a lot worse than this?
I think some 3 months ago, I did express my opinion, not on this platform, but somewhere. I said I could see desperation all over the horizon. I could see tensions building up. I could see old misgivings being brought back to life. I could see emerging crises. I could see some tribulations. And it is making me to feel as if, will there be elections in Nigeria in 2023? If there would be, will these elections be free and fair, credible, and safety after election? Nobody has given me that answer. The assurances I am getting and the feelers I am getting are almost with the fact that I am being justified for the following reasons. Mr. President came over and said he is assuring the entire citizen that there will be free and fair election. 32 days after that statement, his Minister for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, went on the air here in Abuja, in Hausa. The clip is all over, in a dinner to raise money for the governorship candidate of APC in Katsina State. He said, I swear by Allah we have money. I swear by God we have money. I swear by Allah that we have money and materials such that we don't see how we are not going to win election. 4 days later, the chairman of APC in Kano, he said the campaign and the elections in 2023, by hook or by crook, we must win election. Then Asuaji went to London and said the 2023 election is a matter of do or die affair, and even snatching the ballot box and run away with it is legitimate under the circumstances.
Well, there is no ballot box to be
Yeah.
snatched in this instance.
Now Tinubu is APC. Chairman APC is APC. Hadi Sirika is APC. Buhari is APC. They come on the same ship. These gentlemen are directly in contradiction with Buhari's claim that there will be free and fair election. And to be fair, I would rather believe them than believe Mr. President, because he's not in control. He is not in control. If he's in control, most of the mess happening in this country would not have happened in even the wildest imagination.
Okay, on that note, I want to thank you very much indeed. Mahdi Shehu is he's a political rights activist, he's a fighter against human wrongs, as he puts it, and of course he is a supporter of Atiku Abubakar. Thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you, Charles.